Uh, Welcome to this pipeline webinar series by Vermeer. My name is Aditya Gunda. I work for Vermeer India. Uh, just a little bit introduction about myself. I am a mechanical engineer and I've done my master's in industrial engineering, and I have been working with Vermeer for last 10 years now. Out of that, I've spent about 2.5 years in USA working at our US factory, and I returned back to India in 2014. So, to give you a little bit of background about what Vermeer Corporation is, this is a US based company. In the state of Iowa, there is a small town called Pella. So the company headquarters are in this small town. We are a $1.4 billion company and having a manufacturing facility in Pella. We also have manufacturing facilities in China since 2007. Also have facilities in Vermeer, South Dakota, which is in the state of South Dakota. We also have Vermeer MV Solutions, which is a fully owned subsidiary of Vermeer in the state of South Carolina. And recently, we started manufacturing activity in Netherlands as well. We do have sales offices in Netherlands, Singapore, and Brazil. It's a family-owned company and a privately held company. There are total 7 manufacturing plants in Pella, as you can see from this picture, and all these 7 manufacturing plants have been sprayed along the distance of almost 1 mile, and that's the very reason we call this as Vermeer Mile. In India, we are registered entity as Vermeer Equipment India Private Limited. It's 100% subsidiary of Vermeer USA. We have headquarters in Chennai, and there is a team of almost 17, now 18 people, including sales and services. We have more than 1,500 machines working in India, which are spread across different application segments like telephone cables and electrical cables, water pipelines, sewer pipelines, oil and gas, and all those sort of projects. In today's webinar, we would be focusing more on a couple of our HDD models, which are more suitable for pipeline applications, pipeline projects. One of that is going to be C430. That's the model we will be looking at the first. So this is how the machine looks like. So the markets which can be served with this machine are, it's basically categories up to 300 meters or even longer than that if you have short distances for like electrical installations, or there are old infrastructure in the city, uh, in the countries like Dhaka, India. A lot of old infrastructure is getting updated, so this can be used for those projects, or even new infrastructure installation like water projects and gas pipelines, sewer projects as well. So this would be an ideal machine for that sort of projects. If we look at the specifications of the machine, you can see that uh, the total length and width height of the machine is, you can see it on the screen. The main factors that are matter for any of the machine are maximum thrust and pullback force. So for this machine, it will be 43 tons of thrust and pullback. And the torque, we have 3 speed torque rotation. So there are, if you are operating on the low speed shift, then you have 11,400 Newton meter. If it is on medium, 7,600, and if it is high speed shift, then you have 5,041 Newton meter of torque. And the speed of thrust and pullback, if you can look at, it's almost 42 meters per minute. That's basically the speed of the carriage which moves from back end of the machine to the front. It is equipped with a 200 and horsepower, 205 horsepower Cummins engine, and there is an onboard mud pump which you see here on the machine, which is there are two options. The one which you are seeing here is a 460 liters per minute. We also have recently launched an option with 650 liters per minute. Those are from a brand called Likey. And there is a fuel tank of 313 liter. Hydraulic tank is 460 liter. In drill rods, there are two sizes that we offer: 73 meter and 83 meters. So we have not sold 73, but 83 seems to be a very popular size for drill rods. And the length of each drill rod is 3 meters. And we give you a package of machine and 100 rods. So along with the machine, you will have 300 meters total drill rod length. The machine is equipped with the high performance piston pumps. Those are, like as compared to our competitor machines, those offer higher reliability. They are, they're designed to operate at a system pressure which is, lower than the max rated pressure of hydraulic components in the machine. So that basically makes sure that your machine life is much higher. They operate at much higher efficiency as compared to the local gear pumps, and there are a lot of hydraulic ports given on there, which basically allows your service crew for any diagnostics when they're doing in at the site and troubleshooting they're doing. As you can see here, these are all Sauer Danfoss branded closed loop system. So that is one of the advantages for C430. The rotation motors, those are three-speed poke lane rotation motors, and they have three different speeds like high, medium, and low. As you can see, at different speeds, there is a torque either increases or decreases depending on the speed at which you're operating at. So this basically what it helps is your machine has adaptability to different ground conditions. If you're working in harder ground conditions, you operate the motors at slow speed so that you get more torque. If it is softer ground conditions, you operate it at higher speed, so you don't require a very high torque, so you can operate it at higher speed as well. So that's the advantage of having three speed rotation motors. The Vise of the machine, as you can see here, it's an open top Vise. So if the operator is, sitting inside the cabin, he can see the Vise from the cabin. So that's an advantage there. Again, it can also accommodate mud motors and larger toolings. C430 can be used for the mud motors up to 112 mm. Then it is much, I mean, the clamping force is much responsive and powerful as compared to competitor machines as well. So that's basically about the Vice design. Here is one important factor that sets apart C430 from competitor machines is the entry point of the machine is like much closer to drill. So how does that help is this angle is much acute angle as compared to other competitor machines. So that's basically reduces your job site footprint. You are positioning machine much closer distance to your entry pit, so there you are gaining some on the footprint. At the same time, it also allows you to do the longer bores by increasing the amount of downhole thrust force as well. So this is one of the advantages of C430 as compared to the competitor machines. The machine has a rod stager option. So as you can see on this picture here, these are the two arms in which you can rod can be added or removed from the vise directly. So that basically sort of eliminates the human interference there, and your loading and unloading of the rod, that cycle time is much lesser. Obviously your labor requirement is reduced as well. So this is a remote control that comes with the machine. The machine can be transported using this particular remote control. The operator can hold this remote, walk around the machine to see if anything is wrong. At the same time, it also, when you're working in a very narrow lanes, or you require to have a machine position at particular orientation or particular angle, the operator can come down, use this remote to position the machine properly, and then start working on the job site. So these are the different controls of the remote, which you see: emergency stop, then there is a speed adjustment, track forward and reverse for the left, like right, and then the backside there are outriggers. So you have either extend those outriggers or retract them. So that is works on individual basis actually. Ankit, can you allow those people?
Done.
Yeah, so operator station. So as you can see in the picture here, all the Vermeer HDD machines, they are equipped with this switch called operator presence switch. That's kind of a safety feature, which is like, unless and until your operator is seated inside the operator station, the functions like drilling, like thrust and pullback and rotation, they will not work. So you have to make sure that there is somebody sitting at the operator station to operate or enable these three functions. And these are the joysticks. As you can see, these are one is obviously on the right side. This is the right joysticks, this is the left joystick. So the operator can control all the drilling functions at his fingertips. It does not need to remove his eyesight from the entry pit or the drilling functional. These joysticks, they are common in all the Vermeer models. Like the smallest Vermeer rig will have the same joysticks, and all the way up to 100-ton Vermeer machines will have the similar joysticks. So if you have an operator who has previously operated Vermeer rig, and he has to operate C430, so he will not have any difference when he is you know using these joysticks. So that is one more advantage. Your learning curve is much lesser. Another thing is, all the switches and gauges are located on the right side of the operator, so that basically helps them to have the better visibility as well. So that is one more advantage. That's how the operator station looks like. All the controls are on the right side, machine ignition, all the gauges, thrust and pullback, rotation speed, all the operations of all these functions, all the switches, everything is located on the right side of the machine. So operator can be looking at the drill rods and Vise, and he can also monitor all the functions at the same time. He does not have to look at the left side or anything like that. uh when it comes to reliability, we have electrical system equipped with a CAN bus control system. What it means is, as you can see here, there are much lesser number of wires here. So when there are fewer wires and maintenance points, it also means that you can diagnose the faults very quickly as well. There are as you can see here, it's not visible, but these are all the fault codes, and what fault code means, what might be wrong with the machine. So these fault codes are very important. Our service team will have those fault codes. When those fault codes are seen on the machine display, they will know what is happening and where they have to look at, and diagnose the issue and just do the troubleshooting. So this another thing is called as VC tool diagnostic software. So we have our own software which basically helps our engineers to understand what might be the problem is and how do they diagnose. Sorry. And all the electrical harnesses, we make sure the harness routing is done in such a way that they are separated from hoses and the heat sources, so that way everything is away from the heat sources and there is better clearance, so that the component life is increased as well. Now, recently we have launched one more feature in C430 called as plus one control system. This it's kind of an upgraded control system with improved reliability and efficiency. It basically allows the machine to process the commands faster and allows the smoother operation. And very interesting thing here is there is an option for rock drilling or auto drilling function. So these two options were there in our other machines, but C series machines did not have these options. But now they are also equipped with this auto drilling or rock drilling option. So that is one more additional advantage as compared to our competitor machines. So this is sort of a job site from China. As you can see here, the machine is located and the pipe pulling has been completed. It was basically 813 steel gas pipe, and it was almost a 420-meter long crossing. So this was probably the largest installation done by C430 before 2017. There have been a lot of more after that as well. There's another one here. This is again from 2017. They have pulled eight different ducts of 180 diameter each. It's a PVC utility pipe, and the length was around 75 meters. So length was not that high, but the reaming had to be done all the way up to 700 So that's almost like 30 inches. So when it comes to C series advantages as compared to our competition, reliability, we have imported hydraulic pumps, much better cooling system. Our electrical system is much improved. From the productivity point of view, when we say the C430 has 43 tons of thrust and pullback, we mean that it is actually 43-ton thrust and pullback. There is no less, there is no more than 43 tons. It will give you 43 tons of thrust and pullback. Our rotation speeds and torques are much better as compared to our competition. And then we use premium hydraulic hoses. The machine has very small job site footprint. User experience wise, there's a lot of operator comfort because these pipeline jobs, they require much longer duration as compared to the smaller OFC jobs. The operator is actually going to be with the machine, operating the machine for much longer duration than your smaller project. So we made sure that the operator is at comfort, and if operator is at comfort, his productivity is going to increase, and thus you are going to make more money because your productivity is going to be much more in that case as well. There are a lot of safety features that Vermeer offers as well. I am going to cover the three main safety features that Vermeer machines comes with later part of this presentation in detail as well. And another thing is we have the salesman who understand what drilling is. We have service experts. We have excellent project support. If you need anything on the project front, our engineers, our application specialists would be there to help you. And Vermeer has been in this field for more than 20 years. So we have the history of making these machines. At the same time, we also have history of higher resale value. Let's say that you use the machine for 2 3 years and you want to sell it back. There is a much higher resale value for Vermeer machine as compared to other equipment manufacturers. There is another model which I would like to cover in today's presentation is C500. As you can see the machine here, it is almost similar to C430, little bit bigger. It has a crane option as well. So let us go through what are the specifications of this machine. It's almost 9 meter long and 2.5 meter wide, 2.9 meters in height. It weighs about 18 tons with the rod box, and your thrust and pullback, which is what you would be looking at. So the thrust and pullback is 50 tons in this machine, and your carriage speed would be around 30 meters per minute at high speed shift. Again, we use 3-speed rotational motors, so you would have at lower speed you will have 14,000 newton meter of torque. At higher speed you will have 7,300 newton meter of torque. This comes with a 240 horsepower Cummins engine. We use Cummins engine on all our machines. This is equipped with a, as you can see here, onboard mud pump. It's 650 liters per minute. It's a 4-gear manually operated mud pump as well. You can, operate it at the choice of. You can choose what is the gear at which you want to operate the mud pump at. It has a 320-liter fuel tank capacity and 410 liters of hydraulic tank capacity. The rods are 89 NC31 thread type, and they are 4.5 meter long rods. In C430, there are 3 meters rod, but in C500, there are 450 meters of rod. We are giving you with the machine. So machine comes with 100 rods. You will have 450 meters of rod. And this optional crane, it's a uh, 2-ton crane capacity, so that can be used to lifting of rods and reducing your labor a lot as well. This is the operator station of C500. As you can see, it's a cab. Basically, it's a forward facing and climate controlled cab. It has equipped with heat and AC, because this machine is, again, pipeline jobs last much longer than your smaller telecom jobs. So operator has to spend more time with the machine, and he needs to be at comfort as well. So this particular cab makes sure that the operator will be at comfort, and it will improve your job productivity as well. This is how the operator station looks like. It is a forward facing, so it's not similar to C430. This is how it will look like. The operator is facing this side. This is completely glass panel here. You can see here. This is a glass panel. Operator would be sitting here, and the controls are right here in front of him. And these are the two joysticks, which are again similar to C430. So all the controls that you could see on the C430 joysticks are gonna be on the C500 joysticks as well. So again, there is a safety feature on C500, which was also there on C430, and which is also there on all the Vermeer HDD machines, which is called as operator presence switch, which means operator has to be seated in the operator station, so that thrust and pullback and rotation, these three functions will work. The joysticks again are similar to C430, and the operator can control all the drilling functions at his fingertips in case of this machine as well. This also comes with the open top Vise design. Again, I have already told the benefits of that. It has much better operator visibility. It can accommodate mud motors up to 127 diameter. We have been supplying 127 mud motor with C500. We have sold some machines in India, and those mud motors are working pretty fine in with this machine as well. This is how the rod loader looks like. Machine comes with a rod box that can hold 16 pieces of rods, and the other rods have to be obviously kept on the ground, and there is a crane that can be used to load the rods in this rod box as well. The machine, again, in this case, same like C430, it is supplied with 3-speed poke lane rotation motors that basically increases the adaptability of your.
আপনি ওই কথার মধ্যে ইয়ে করবেন চাকরি ধরে
So that increases your adaptability of the machine to different ground conditions and help increase your productivity. This is a mud pump, which you see much closer picture here. So this is a 650-liter mud pump and 80 bar pressure. It basically delivers a much better flow to run the rock reamers as well as mud motors. And like I told earlier, this is a 4-gear manual shift. This can be operated manually, and you can adjust the flow requirement depending on your choice. Then the C500 also comes with a remote, which is similar to C430. Operator can use this remote to walk around the machine, take a look at the machine, position the machine in case there is, a particular angle or orientation is required for positioning of the machine. And these are the controls that you would be seeing on this remote control. There are controls for operating each track and each outrigger, and there is an e-stop and speed adjustment as well. Now, I talked about a feature called operator presence switch, which is a safety feature. So when it comes to safety, a lot of people, say that safety is overrated. We keep hearing that, but is that actually the situation? Because I feel, or we feel as a Vermeer, as a corporate entity, we feel that safety is most important part of any construction site, any production plant, any job site, any HDD site as well. And unfortunately, it gets overlooked most of the times. So this is a typical safety construction site. So most construction sites lately, they have started following safety regulations. If not, the project owners are making it mandatory for the contractors to follow all the safety regulations. And the workers, those are, working on these projects, they are actually aware about their own safety. So they are demanding the safety regulations to be followed, and there is still a lot of scope for improvement. I'll show you a picture. These are pictures from India. You can see here, none of these guys are wearing any of the safety helmets. They are actually holding, or they are pushing this electrical duct, which is very, very heavy. None of them is wearing any safety shoes. Some of them are wearing these gum boots, but obviously those are not safety shoes. This guy is working very close to drill rod. You see here, there is a drill head right behind him. He is wearing just chappals, and obviously that's not very safe. He's not wearing any gloves. This guy is standing on the tracks here, not wearing any safety helmet. He's using the, or removing drill rods with just bare hands. There is nothing on his hands to protect his hands as well. So one more factor that gets overlooked is mud management. So when you're drilling, you are pumping a lot of mud, which includes bentonite. There is water in it. There is a lot of polymers in it as well. So when that mud comes back to ground surface, and disposal of that mud is a big question. We don't know whether uh, whether that disposal of that mud is possible or not. Most of the times, contractors just leave the job sites like that, and they don't really have any good answer to handle this issue. Sometimes in outer countries like US and Europe, the contractors do get penalized for that as well. So what Vermeer offers when it comes to safety? So all the Vermeer machines, they come with onboard operator and safety manuals. So every Vermeer HDD machine, you will have this operator and safety manuals. There are safety signs on the machines. Now, as you can see here, there is an operator presence switch here. So what happens is, it is located right below the operator seat. It prevents operation or use or enabling of thrust, pullback, and rotation. These three are the most important functions in any HDD machine. So unless and until operator is seated in his seat, these three functions of thrust, pullback, and rotation will not work. So whenever you are using a Vermeer machine and you're starting a new job or starting your day in the morning, make sure that it is functioning correctly before you starting to work. Then there is a function called as strike alert. It's basically all the Vermeer machines will have this electrical strike alert. It audibly warns the operator that electrical strike may have occurred. Now, some of you might feel that we have a feature that basically prevents the electrical strikes. In that case, you're thinking wrong. It's not like that. There is no way, or there is no feature, there is no way to find out whether the machine is going to hit the electrical utility or not. So unless and until you do the survey, you know where exactly the utility is located and you negotiate that while drilling, then it is possible to not hit that electrical cable. But if you're not done, if you don't know the location, then it is not possible to basically avoid that electrical strike. But if the electrical strike occurs, that electrical current passes through the drill rods and there is a possibility of your operator dying on the spot. Vermeer has this feature which basically prevents all this from happening. So there are two circuit systems. One circuit measures the current flow up to the drill pipe. Other one measures the difference of voltage between machine and the earth ground. So all the Vermeer machines are given voltage stake along with the machine. You have to make sure that you are inserting that voltage stake about 2-3 meters away from the machine, so that if there is an electrical strike alert, the current is actually grounded and your operator is much safer. You can see here, this is the electrical stake. You have to insert that in the ground. And we have on the keyboard here, you can see that there is a testing feature called as electrical strike alert testing. So you do that testing before it actually you start working. Make sure that the electrical strike alert system, it actually works. So in basically this is how your display will look like. If it is showing you the green light, that means the strike alert system is working fine. If it is yellow, then the system is not working. You have to make sure that you correct that and then start working. When you're working and if there is an electrical strike, you will have alarm as well as there will be a red symbol which will show you that something has gone wrong. So you have to make sure that you have to take proper action and get out of that. Now there is a third safety feature that Vermeer HDD machine come with, that is called as remote lockout. So let us say that you are working on a pilot hole. You have completed the pilot hole. Your drill rod is out in the exit pit here. Now you want to change the drill head and replace it with the reamer or water swivel or anything like that. So in that case, somebody from your crew, a labor, has to get inside that exit pit and open your drill head, again thread in the reamer and then come out of that. So in that spur of the moment, let us say that there is a labor in the exit pit, and if somebody who is sitting at the operator seat enables the thrust and pullback or even rotation, that can be life endangering as well. So this guy who is entering the exit pit enters with this remote. This remote basically allows that particular crew the ability to disable three functions: thrust, pullback, and rotation, and drill fluid flow as well. So unless and until this particular guy disables the remote lockout, the operator, despite of sitting at his station, will not be able to enable thrust, rotation, and drill fluid flow. Meaning that the guy who is at the exit pit will be completely safe when he has enabled the remote lockout. Once he comes out of the pit, he will disable the remote lockout and then only operator will be able to operate all these functions. So that kind of makes sure that the guy who is inside the pit, if he has enabled remote lockout, he is going to be safer 100%. So that's how the display will tell you that thrust and rotation is enabled. There is no communication and disabled as well. So these are the two models which we covered for today's webinar. One was C430, which is a 43-ton machine. One was C500, which is a 50-ton machine. We will be soon coming up with the bigger machine, which is a 100-ton machine, and it's called as C1000. Right now, it is not really ready to be launched in Bangladesh. We are planning to launch it in India very soon. Once it is launched in India, we will be launching this in Bangladesh as well. And this machine would be suitable for your larger pipeline projects where you are working on, uh, 24-inch diameter and 32-inch and 36 inches, and the distances would be 600, 700, 800-meter long. So this machine is capable of handling those projects as well. So keep waiting. We will be definitely sending out the notification when we are ready to launch this particular model for Bangladesh market. And then probably we can have one more webinar on this, about the features and benefits of C1000 as well. So that's about it. Thank you for joining this webinar. These are my contact details. I have given my mobile number, my email ID. In case you have any issues, you want to buy a new machine, you have to go through Project Builders Limited, who are our authorized agents for Bangladesh market. So you can directly reach out to me as well. I can, introduce you to PBL, and then they can help you going ahead with the quotation and supply of the machines and everything else. So
Thank
yeah.
you, Mr. Aditya. Yeah, there's a question from Mr. Mursid. Mursid, I'm unmuting you. You may ask your question directly.